Test, test, test. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. We got a couple setups we're looking at, y'all. What's going on, Doug? I see you up in here. What's going on, Brandy? So a lot of charts when that's projected yesterday. We're going to break that down a little bit. We're paying attention to a couple charts right now. I was watching GJ last night, but as you can see, GJ was ranging here all New York session and Tokyo session. And then you can see literally a couple hours ago, that thing broke past this level. So we're still looking for buys on GJ because we're bullish, right? We're still looking for buys. That would have been a nice move to have caught. But again, like we always talk about, we're sticking to the rules, not chasing price. I was like, where's my buy positions? So at this point, we're waiting for price to do a couple of things. We really want to see if price can retrace and come back down to 197.45 and hold that support, or we're going to see if we can break and hold 198 as support, then look for continued buys going to 198.50. So we're still looking for buys on GJ. And then we can see another possible gold sell move, right? We talked about this gold setup in yesterday's live stream. That one that's projected. US30 one that's projected as well. We're going to be looking for possible continued US30 buys here. As far as my source, I'm using Owanda. I know US30 is one of those charts that can be, the numbers and prices can be a bunch of different things depending on your broker. But what I'm looking at right now, Owanda source, we can hold 43.150 as support. We're going to be looking for buys going to 43.280. So we got a few setups we're looking at right now. We do have news today. We have news at 10 a.m. So make sure to keep that time in mind. We got USD news at 10 a.m. But we got a lot of setups we're looking at right here, y'all. We got a lot of setups we're possibly looking at. With GU one that's projected yesterday as well. As you can see, it's kind of just been chilling here after they did that move after the news yesterday. So with GU, we're going to be looking for continued buys also, right? We just broke this highs to the left. So we're going to be looking for continued buys on GU also. So right now, it's currently treating 36.30 as resistance. So we can hold 36.30 as support. We can look for continued buys going to 36.55. Or if it rejects this level and retraces back down to 35.90, we can look for buys still. Make sure to like the lives, y'all. Hop up in here, y'all. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Got a new video dropping for y'all later on today. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. Dropped the video for you a couple days ago. Make sure to check that out and watch it if you haven't already. But yeah, we're going to see how Wednesday is going to play out for us. Let's see how Wednesday plays out for us. Now, the trade we took yesterday was Euro New Zealand. We talked about this in the live yesterday as well. The initial buy setup we took was right here. After let's get rid of this, price broke above this level, did a retest. We took this buy setup. It rejected. But as we can see, this is why I always talk about review your trades. We went over this with the members and students. Told them if we could still hold this low as support, the buy setup's still valid. As you can see, it didn't tank to the downside or reverse. It came back up later after the news, did a nice retest, and did the exact move we was looking for. So this is why it's important to, one, go with the flow of price, because if you're always going for the highest probability setup, then you don't really have to question why the trade didn't go your way, because it's always going to be one of two things. This is why I tell the members and students, literally, if you're in the advanced play signal room right now, go scroll and look at every single loss. You're going to have to scroll a little bit because we don't lose that many times, but go and look at every single loss that we take. And I guarantee you, it's always one of two things. Either it was a low volume or we got caught in a reversal, which is two things we cannot control. It's never because we was counter trend trading or we should have went for sales instead of buys or buys instead of sales. But That's neither here nor there. We're about to see what this next 15 is looking like. I like how US30 is holding this level. That's a nice retest. We got gold about to try to do something for us. So we got a lot of setups going on right now that could possibly play out. So yeah, I'm gonna pay attention. We're about to see what this next 15 looks like. I like how this stuff is looking right. I definitely like US30 and GJ and gold. So I'm mainly gonna be paying attention to US30, GJ, and gold. GU I like as well, but right now I'm gonna be paying attention to US30 and GJ. Let's see what this next 15 looks like. We can still hold this low at support. I'm not against going for a buy here. Again, we broke the highs to the left yesterday. About to see if we can hold this low at support. This is another very strong support level right here. So let's see what this next 15 looks like. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop them in the chat. See the chat, but give me a second, right? So I want to make sure we don't miss anything. All right, so we got GJ rejecting. If it breaks this level, I'm gonna get alerted, so I'm not tripping too much there. So yeah, I'm just gonna pay attention to US30 right now. Let's see if US30 can hold this level. All right, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on, Sharp? I see you up in here. Yeah, Nick, what's going on? How do you draw the lines? Are you interested in learning how exactly I marked off these levels and my exact trading strategy? Go ahead and click those links in the description. Join Playmaker University. All right. This is where I teach you how to mark off the levels. Or you can sign up for one-on-one sessions, but if you want to learn how to read the charts and mark off my levels, I highly recommend joining Playmaker University. Like I said, you get my exact trading strategy, you get the price action technical analysis playbook for free, as well as you get the trader's mindset playbook for free, which goes over trading psychology, goes over not just the word, but how it actually works and the science behind it. I go over how to never blow your account, and I give you my exact trading plan. And then in Playmaker University, you learn how to read the charts, how to identify my key price levels, which is the blue and gold lines you see on your screen. I go over how to trade news, my scalping strategy, my buy and selling strategy. Like I said, you get that book for free. I show you how to scale into trades, how to never blow your account again. You get access to the student member group chat. You get daily setups for life, daily trade recaps, and exclusive New York lives and Zooms. All right. So go ahead and click those links in the description if you have not joined yet. And that's why I go over all of that stuff. All right. So we got alerts beeping. Let's see what's going on right now. Make sure to like the live, y'all. Make sure to like the live. So we got GJ pushing up. Let's see hold that level of support. It's like G's for the chart. So we got a lot of charts. So obviously, we need to take all the setups. I do like how these are looking right here. Okay. Those joining the stream, we have not introduced trades yet. These are just trade ideas. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal, free Telegram. Y'all see on your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Yeah, so I like how we looking at here. I really want to see if we can hold this low by support though, because we didn't retest this low. We blew through it. Usually when we blow through levels, like you see right here, more times than not, we're going to retrace and try to rehold that as support. So I'm going to see if we're going to do that, but either way, I'm going for buys. I'm going for buys here, I'm going for buys here. It doesn't matter. Buys is the move in the game plan. GJ, US30. Still kind of chilling here. We're still looking for buys on this, but again, we're not really in a rush with these setups, especially when it comes to US30, because again, they did a pretty big move yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it kind of did retest, but it did a pretty big move yesterday. So we're going to see if we can hold that level. We're just going to try to retrace and retest or not. All right, that's why you don't get too excited. It's just like how it was green. You can flip that red to red that quick as well. So yeah, we're in no rush. You never want to be in a rush or too excited to jump into trades. Right? You want to stay cool, calm, and collected. Make sure all your confirmations rules are being met. All right. So let me see what else we got up in here. What's going on, my boy? I see you up in here. What's going on? What's going on? Does anyone know future symbol for DJ30? Oh well, you said futures. Oh, never mind. I know. Some charts will say, or some brokers say DJ30. Let me see. Let me look it up. So if it doesn't show up as US30, try DJ30. So I know some brokers might say DJ30 or what the fuck going on? Yeah, so the fuck's happening? It's back on this. Also maybe YM. I'm also seeing YM. Um, that's for the mini DAOs. So or DJIA. Yeah, so it could be a few of those. Yeah, so either look up YM Yellow Mary or DJIA. Could be one of those or DJ30. For those looking on the indice side, this is going to be US30 or DJ30. All right, so we got a new 5 minute popped up. So again, we're just chilling, waiting for our confirmations of volume to kick in. Again, we do got news at 10 a.m. later on today, so make sure to keep that in mind and be on the lookout for that. We got a Fed meeting, Fed speaking. But yeah, we're about to see like usual. We got the setup there. Again, we had some big news happen right before London session started. So again, with GJ, we're going to see if we can hold this level as support, or just going to retrace back down to retest. But looking for buys nonetheless. Looking for buys nonetheless. Why am that still charging? Okay, no problem, no problem. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, y'all. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_way, TikTok _playmakerway _. Post daily on both pages. Also got a new video dropping for y'all later on today on YouTube. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. So I like this retest here. Just holding this level nicely. Also retested off my alert. So we might jump in. I just want to make sure we can hold this level right here. Yeah, I like that right there. I like that retest right there. So yeah, we might jump to US30. Like I said, I'm really paying attention to GJ and US30. I like that retest right there. And again, a part of trading too is understanding not just what you want to see happen, but also all the possibilities, right? Because ultimately, price can do one or two things: it's either going to go up or go down. So we need to acknowledge all the possibilities that can happen. That way, again, when you review your trade, whether it's a win or a loss, you understand what took place, right? It's not just as black and white as okay, the trade went my way, cool. It didn't go my way, okay, it was a loss. Review every single trade. The more you review your trades, the more you're going to understand what's happening, and you're going to improve. You know what I'm saying? I do like this right here. So we're slowly getting out of that consolidation we were stuck in for the past few months as well. Right before summer quarter, not a coincidence. Like I always tell y'all, summer quarter, as far as I've been trading, has usually been with the most volume. And as we see, majority of this quarter, right? January, February, March was quarter one. April, May, June, quarter two. So after this month's over, we're gonna be going into quarter three. And as you can see, May we had some decent volume, but then like halfway point you can see we just been in Chop City up until Friday and this week, right? So this has been with a lot of the charts. But we got a new 15, so we're gonna wait to see what this next 15 looks like. Again, we're mainly paying attention to GJ and US30 as of right now, but that doesn't mean these other charts won't play out as projected. Because just like yesterday, a lot of these, literally every chart went as projected. Literally every chart we talked about yesterday went as projected. Yeah, so I like US30. GJ breaks that level, I'm gonna get alerted. So again, I just like to wait for like it was like a minute before the next candlestick. I just personally like to wait for the candlestick to close and for the new candlestick to open. That's just one of my rules, so I just stick to it. Because again, you don't want to always try to find exceptions to the rules to break your rules, because then you're not even going to stick to your rules. You're just going to go for anything and everything, right? So you always want to just stick to your rules. Your rules are in place for a reason. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. We're ready to see what this next 15 looks like. If I like what I see, I'm gonna jump into US30. If I like what I see, I'm gonna jump into US30. Got a minute to the next 15. All right. So long as it don't take off right here, I'd be fucked up if it does that. But I do like how it is right looking right here. It is the full move would be a nice 1 to 4. Even if we enter right here, there's still gonna be a nice 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So as long as it doesn't fly before this next 15 and go up to like 43, 190, I'm sure right here. But again, that was a nice retest. Trying to take off, but we got a new 15 about to pop up. Yeah, advanced space signal. Always pay attention to what my entry prices are. All right. So again, when y'all take the trades, I always put the entry. So it's a little bit past that entry. Acknowledge that and decide whether you want to wait for it to retrace or want to take that setup, right? Because the entry price is the ideal price when to enter at. Yeah, I like this right here. Yeah, I like this right here. It's got a little bit of work to do. It's going to have to take those highs out. I like that right there. And again, this is why we enter next up these key price levels. You saw how US30 was failing to hold this level as support. Y'all saw the retest. Y'all saw it go from red to green. And just like we see with GJ, how it's been halted here, right? This big push. It's been stuck here for the past hour, right? Even with Ian. All right, look at CS. As soon as price hit this level, it rejected. Right, so this is exactly why we mark out these key price levels, and then we also go with the floor price. I might switch up how I do the signal room, y'all. I've been debating since the weekend. I've been planning a few things. I might switch up how I do the signal room. It won't be like a major change. And there it goes, retracing some more. Yeah, so it's gonna have to break these highs to the left before it can even come to this high to the left. Right. So again, we need this level to be held, but we're also acknowledging that I did a big move yesterday. So I might try to retrace before it continues. Right, but it did a big move to cancel out and make the new higher high. But it also hasn't really done too much for the day. Again, we do got news at 10 a.m. So also keep that in mind. But yeah, GJ just broke above this level here as well. And then we got GU about to possibly reattempt to try to break above these levels. And there's a lot of setups. But as far as the signal, I might start calling out more signals. I might start calling out like one indice future signal and then one forex pair signal a day, because I do give them out and projections and stuff in the New York price watch list. But on a daily basis, I do typically do, because I have multiple accounts. I do typically take an indice trade or a gold trade and a forex trade a day. So I might as well just call forex and indice signal every day as well, as far as if I see the opportunity, of course. But I'm like, I've talked about the New York price watch list. I take the setup, so I might as well take it. But again, that doesn't mean if you take, you still gotta be responsible with your account. Right? So if you don't look out for that, yo, I probably will do that. I like to make a little message announcement in the channel and break down all that stuff if I do decide to do that. So you and GJ are looking nice as well. Let's see what GJ can hold this right here. Of course, US30 still in trace, but we're still gonna let that thing do its thing. Again, a lot of the charts right now are super choppy or struggling, like we've been talking in the past few weeks, to continue trends. GU is a perfect example of that. Right, let's move to a naked chart so I can really pay attention to what I'm talking about. Now, when we look at US30, not US30, when we look at GBPUSD, right, we had a bunch of periods where we have a big move, and then months of consolidation, and then a big move for a couple weeks, and months of consolidation, and a nice move for like a week, consolidation, we had a reversal, and then we just took out these highs to the left. So this is literally like what US30 looks like right now, right? We got that rejection, and we just broke up above. We try to make that new higher high. So a lot of these charts are literally going through this right now, which is why, again, you see some other videos online where people talking about price action's been bad, and everyone's talking about how choppy it's been, because it has been choppy, not just on the small time frames, but the bigger time frames. But again, that's why it's important to understand what's going on, so you understand and know what's going on, right? Same thing with GJ. And this is just part of the game, right? Because again, price isn't going to always be just clean, perfect uptrends or clean, perfect downtrends, right? Which is why I wrote the price action technical analysis playbook, so y'all understand actually how the trends work and the rules of every single trend. Because we look at GJ, same thing, right? We got a kind of decent higher high movement here, uptrend movement here, but then we had for the past few months choppiness, right? And then we just broke that high last week, which we caught last week as well. Oops, I'm not doing that right chart. right? So literally all these charts are kind of going through the same thing, right? And then gold is kind of in that possible reversal and trend change territory, right? But same thing, like literally all these charts have been chopped up recently, right? Literally every single chart. So until we break out of that and start having those clean momentum pushes of either higher highs or lower lows, this is just the conditions we got right now. But even with these conditions, we're still making money. But with the choppiness, meaning there's low volume, there's more times price is going to retrace and struggle to break and hold levels, then continuously breaking, holding levels, and then going to the next level. You get what I'm saying? But nice retest. It's still holding as low as support. So let's see if we can hit that first TP. I'll mark off the first TP as well. I didn't do that yet, but I'm gonna mark off the first TP as well. Yeah, that's literally what's going on with a lot of these charts. Does it suck? Is it annoying? Can be, but it is what it is, right? Like I always tell the members and students, on three things we control when it comes to the markets. We control when we enter a trade, we control when we exit a trade, and we control how much we risk per trade. We do not control volume or when price goes up, when price goes down, none of that stuff. Appreciate those. I like the live. Make sure to subscribe and have y'all's noties on. All right, make sure to have y'all's noties on because YouTube has changed how they do things in their algorithm. Back in the day, they used to push, especially to the subscribers, heavily when new videos drops. But now they're kind of pushing it out to more people that aren't subscribed. So I get a lot more people that don't normally see my videos, but the people that are subscribed, they're not really pushing the videos out to y'all as much. So I gotta make sure, to be on the lookout for my videos and have the noties on. I am gonna start posting a lot more when I do drop videos in the free Telegram as well. Because why not? I do the same thing when I go live. But yeah, so that's just what YouTube does now. That's just what YouTube does now. Yeah, but we see GU and GJ pushing up as well, trying to hold these levels. Again, with GU, if we can hold 36.30 as support, we can look for buys going to 36.55. And then with GJ right here, if we can hold 198 as support, we can look for buys going to 198.50. Got a new 5 minute order pop up in a little bit. I like how that looks right there too. So there's a lot of setups we can see. A lot of setups we can see. Yeah. We figured it out, but it's YM. Is YM is goes with a couple other symbols. But yeah, that's always the best way to go about it. Just to look that up, especially because like a lot of stuff, like even gold, because on the forex side, unless you're outside of America, or I don't know if Canada is the same way, but United States of America, I don't know if all of America is the same way as far as this is concerned. But at least on my broker and stuff, you can't trade gold no more. But on the future side, you can trade gold, right? But also on prop firms, you can trade gold as well. But then also like they have the same thing like NAS100's NQ on there. The symbols are different, but it's the same shit. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but that's just how they do things. Yeah, let them know. Let them know. Yeah, so I like these right here. I like how these new 5 minute just popped up. US30 is kind of chilling right here. We'll just let that do its thing. All right, always hold the SRTP gets hit. That's the name of the game. But yeah, there's a lot of setups we can see. I'm gonna write up some more setups. Like I said, I'm probably gonna start that this week. I just want to like type out an alert, or not an alert, like a message, a little PSA to the members. That way they understand what's going on. Because there'll be a lot of setups popping off all the time. So it's like I might as well just, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm gonna write some trade ideas up because I do like how they are looking. So, got a new 15 about to pop up in a little bit. Yeah, so I like how GU and GJ are looking. USD's still kind of chilling right here. Like I said, we gotta take out this high to the left, which is why when I was waiting for that next 15, I was like, as long as we don't take that out, I'm gonna take the setup. All right, but we need to take the high out to the left before we can get anywhere. GJ, so I want to see if we can retest and hold these levels. If we can retest and hold these levels, we're gonna jump in as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and write up a little message in the type for people in advance to see when we get that done. All right, I'm back. I just posted the PSA and the advanced play signal room, so y'all make sure to read that. But like I said, it's y'all's trading accounts. Make sure to still be responsible to y'all's trading plans. But because I have been getting a lot of people um, on the future side, which is interesting, I didn't really expect that. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. We trade futures and indices as well, but lately I've been getting a lot of people on the future side coming in, and I've been getting a lot of messages behind the scenes. So fuck it, right? And like I said, it's not like I don't be taking forex and future trades um, most days anyway. So, and I'll be talking about the New York price watch list. So make sure to read that, y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna start calling at least one futures and one forex signal a day. So that way, if I do call a future signal, because usually what I do is I just call one signal and then the other setups I talk about in the New York price watch list. But not everybody can trade NAS100, likes to trade NAS100, and also not everybody trade forex pairs. Some people like to trade just futures, so I'm gonna start doing that. Probably should have been doing that, but hey, we're doing it now. So now we're like with GU and GJ is the retest we was talking about. So now I'm about to see if we can retest and hold this level as support, right? Because if we can hold this level as support, then we're going to see price most likely do that next push up. Right? So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. I like both of these for sure. They both have good market structure. GU, as you can see here, needs to hold this level as support before it push up, and then GJ is kind of the same situation. As you can see right here. We got another hour before the new 4 hour pops up. Then we see price projecting. So again, this is why we wait for the retest. So just because price breaks the level doesn't mean it's going to hold that level. Exhibit A. US30 still holding low with support. So we're just waiting for volume. We'll see what happens between now and 6 a.m. Like I always talk about with the news, this one's at 10 a.m. though. So we don't see any action between now and like 6 a.m. Price is probably gonna be chilling up until either 8:30, well 8 o'clock, 8:30, between 8:30 and 9:30, or up until the news pops off. That's kind of what happened with yesterday as well. But again, you see these things are rejecting, so again, that's why we wait for the retest. Because we would have just took a trade just because price broke that level, would be an unnecessary drawdown and that potential risk of having a stop loss get hit, right? So again, you always want to wait to see if price can retest. So even when we see here, price broke this level, but guess what? Still retested right before I did the big move right here. So patience pays. You never want to be in a rush to take setups. Right. You see what I mean? Would have been an unnecessary drawdown. That's why I always wait for the cancel to close and see if we can hold that level as support. See what I mean? That's why you always want to wait for the retest. Always want to wait for the retest. No problem, no problem. I always want to wait for the retest. Right, because literally, look how quick price is rejecting. That doesn't mean it can't hold that level, but again, even with proper risk management, if you just patiently wait, you can avoid certain losses and make more money versus take a loss and then take the same trade again once price is ready to hold that level. Right. You can go about it that way, but again, like you will literally avoid losses just by waiting for a retest instead of breakout trading. That's why I don't really like all these because all you see online is breakout trading. And when you try that in real life, it's not as simple or sweet like people make it seem. You see that? We took a loss for no reason. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the live. You never want to be in a rush to take a setup. Look at that. Would have just took a loss for no reason. So now we're about to see if we can hold this low as support right here. If you guys got any questions, drop in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop in the chat. But we're just chilling, patiently waiting right now. Just chilling, patiently waiting. Look at that. Right, then a lot of people would be like, oh, fuck that liquidity sweep. Sellers came into play. But in all actuality, again, it's all about high probability, high quality setups. Right? Wait for the retest confirmation. We talk about that all the time. US30 is still chilling right here. We're just gonna let that do its thing. Gold slowly pushing back down below. Again, with gold, if we can hold 33.24 as resistance, we can look for sales going to 33.04. So again, we can't hold that level as support with GJ. We're going to see if we can hold 197.45 as support. But we're looking for buys either way on GJ. Nonetheless, we are bullish. We're looking for buys either way. We're not looking for sells anytime soon. I'm just going to swap that over. Yeah, so I'm gonna pay attention to those, but I'm probably gonna just let US30 play out, and then see what pops off at the beginning of the New York session, and then see how the news plays out, and then go from there. I'm glad that did what it did because I talk about that all the time, but every now and then we see examples of why we do that. But we saw two examples right there. But again, why I always talk about retest, why I always talk about on Instagram and TikTok, stop breakout trading. Because again, with proper risk management and good risk ratio setups, you can do that shit and still end up profitable. But if you just patiently wait 10, 15 minutes, avoid more losses versus just jump into everything, take more losses, and then get that win eventually. Again, the less losses and the good win, you're going to grow your account a lot quicker. Right, it's no rush trading. Isn't a get rich quick scheme. There's no rush. Should never be a rush. New 15 an hour about to pop up in a little bit. So US30 is chilling right now. Again, if it can't hold this up at support, it's most likely going to retrace back down to 43.40, 43.50, and try to retrace and fill up that big move it did yesterday. Could even try to retest 42.915. We're going to hold to SRT to get hit like usual. Again, we still got a lot of other charts we could possibly see play out. We do have news at 10 a.m. again. And yeah, so right now I'm just going to let US30 do its thing. I'm not going to take any other setups until probably after or going into New York and after the news. Still going to be on the charts though. We got EM pushing back up. They're about to see if GJ is going to retrace and retest or break back above that level. So we're about to see who's going to retrace and retest. It's going to try to push back up above that level. And we got all these other charts. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Again, it is the last week of the month. Like I always say, the first and last week, we usually have the most reports coming out. This is the most difficult weeks to trade. We'll see how today plays out, but we also have a bunch of news tomorrow and Friday as well. Again, got a new video dropping for y'all later on today. Make sure to be on the lookout for that. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I got a new post dropping for y'all later on today as well. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody's been live since the beginning. Shout out to everybody's been live since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free Signal, free Telegram. If you're interested in learning how to identify these levels, Signal service or mentorship program, make sure to hit those links in the description below. But before you make a decision, like my recent videos, watch like the last 3 minutes. So I go for all the details on my programs. But like always, if you guys got any questions, you can contact me directly. But yeah, so we're gonna see how the charts play out. We're gonna let all these other charts do their thing. None of them really had entry points anyway, so we're gonna just let them play out going between now and the New York session. Always see what price looks like at the beginning of New York. We'll see how the news plays out at 10 a.m. and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow on the session 3 a.m. EST.